Qin Empire, the rise and fall of China's first dynasty. Alright, this is it. Let's hit play and drift off, just kidding, stay awake. Today, we're diving into the epic story of the Great Qin Empire, the dynasty that turned ancient China from a patchwork of warring states into one massive empire, and then fell apart almost as fast as it came together. Think of it as the OG speed run of world domination, 15 years of glory, thousands of years of influence. So grab a snack, because we're starting from scratch, when the Qin people were just scrappy horse guys in the wild west of China, and ending when an angry mob said nope and torched the palace. Act 1, from stable boys to state builders. Picture ancient China around 800 BCE. Back then, the Zhou dynasty was running the show, but their system was kinda like medieval Europe, kings handing out land to relatives and nobles to keep them loyal. One of those guys was Qin Fizi, a horse caretaker who took such good care of royal horses that the king threw him a bone, or more like a chunk of land way out west, today's Gansu province. So the Qin clan set up shop out there, cold, remote, more goats than people. Not much to do but farm, herd, and fight off bandits. The upside? While the fancy states in the east were busy backstabbing each other, the Qin were building muscle in the mountains. They learned early, out here, survival means tough laws, hard work, and big swords. Act 2, the game changer, Lord Shang and the brutal reboot. Fast forward to around 360 BCE. By now, China was deep into the warring states era. Imagine 7 hungry wolves in a cage, each trying to eat the other. Qin was strong but not yet the top dog. Then came Xiangyang, a radical reformer who turned the place upside down. His pitch was simple: stop pampering nobles. Reward farmers. Reward soldiers. Kill corruption. Standardize everything. And punish crime hard. He introduced harsh laws, gave out land for farming, handed out titles for battlefield kills. Basically, he gamified survival. It worked. Qin peasants became hardcore farming machines by day, lethal warriors by night. Xiangyang's fate? Ironically, he got backstabbed by the same nobles he weakened. They tied him to chariots and ripped him apart. Medieval politics, folks. But his reforms stuck. The engine was built. Now it just needed a driver. Act 3, the wolves eat the sheep, 6 states fall. Thanks to Xiangyang, Qin now had an unstoppable war machine. The kings who followed, especially the famous King Zhao, pushed eastward, picking off rival states one by one. The general Bai Qi was so savage he earned the nickname Human Butcher. In one battle, the Longping Slaughter, he wiped out over 400,000 enemy soldiers. That's ancient total war. By the time Yingwen came along, the guy we know as Qin Shi Huang, the other 6 states were just snacks on his dinner plate. From 230 BCE to 221 BCE, Qin steamrolled Korea's Han, Zhao, Wei, Chu, Yang, and finally Qi, who just threw up their hands and said, "We're done, dude." Yingwen crowned himself Shi Huangdi, the first emperor. No more kings and dukes, just one supreme ruler, the boss of bosses. Act 4, Qin Shi Huang, the OG control freak. People love to dunk on Qin Shi Huang for being a ruthless tyrant, and he kinda was. But he also built the blueprint for imperial China. His greatest hits: abolished feudal states, replaced them with direct rule, aka counties and provinces. Standardized weights, measures, currency, even axle width so wagons wouldn't get stuck. Unified writing, so people from different regions could finally read the same stuff. Built massive roads, connected the empire, and started the first version of the Great Wall. Sounds great, right? Well, here's the dark side: heavy taxes, forced labor, millions conscripted to build mega projects, harsh punishments, book burnings, and a suspicious obsession with finding an immortality potion. The guy basically ran China like a 24/7 boot camp. And people were exhausted. Act 5, under the hood, cracks in the empire. Qin's system was a Ferrari with no brakes. While the first emperor lived, fear kept it running. But power can't run on fear forever. In 210 BCE, Qin Shi Huang died on a road trip, ironically while hunting for the secret to live forever. Then came his real mistake. He left power in the hands of his scheming eunuch Zhao Jiao and a puppet heir, Hu Hai, his youngest son. Zhao Jiao faked the emperor's will, forced the rightful heir to kill himself, and put the gullible Hu Hai on the throne. It was like giving a toddler the keys to a nuclear bomb. Act 6, the final meltdown. Hu Hai, and now Qin Shi, the second emperor, had no clue how to rule. Zhao Jiao basically ran the empire while Hu Hai played the world's worst trust game. Anyone who looked suspicious got executed. Loyal generals? Dead. Competent ministers? Dead. Meanwhile, peasants were done being free labor. A couple of low-ranking soldiers, Chen Sheng and Wu Guang, got stuck in the rain and realized they'd be executed for missing a deployment. So they shrugged and said, "Screw it. Why die for free when we can die trying?" They raised an army and lit the fuse that blew up the empire. Soon, rebel leaders like Song Yu, the warrior prince of Chu, and Liu Bang, a backwater sheriff with a big mouth, showed up to finish the job. Act 7, the fire consumes the empire. Qin's remaining armies cracked under pressure. Soldiers mutinied. People revolted everywhere. Song Yu stomped into the capital, burned down the palaces, killed the last puppet king, Ziying, and declared game over for the Qin. From first emperor to ashes, all in just 15 years. Act 8, the legacy, short life, long shadow. So, was Qin a failure? Yes and no. It burned out fast, but it left behind the operating system for every Chinese dynasty that came after. The empire model. The bureaucracy. The standardized script. The roads. The walls. Han Dynasty? They just did a software update and kept the hardware. Qin Shi Huang wanted immortality. He didn't find it in magic pills, but he did get it in history books. His empire showed China that unity is possible, but freedom? Well, that's another story. The end, long live Qin. So, the Great Qin, a brutal empire that forced a divided land into one. It ruled with an iron fist, fell like a house of cards, and left a blueprint for emperors for the next 2,000 years. All right, this is it. Hit pause, go sleep, or binge the next episode, you pick. Drop me a comment, who's next? Han Dynasty? Mongols? Three Kingdoms? I'll be here, telling you how history is always crazier than fiction. See you next time.